My name's Steve from Metropolitan HVAC LLC. Originally, we reached out to Landon with RevXperts. We were looking to grow our company and our online presence. In the beginning, I started off by making my own website and SEOing it myself. As the company grew, I had to outsource that, but I also had to outsource it to somebody that I was able to have constant communication with. Because as we were adapting and changing, I realistically needed to stay within some form of control where I could know what's going on and implement it into my month-by-month planning. It's just one of the reasons we chose Landon with RevXperts. The nice thing about Landon, when he reached out to me, he did not sales pitch me. We threw it immediately into organic conversation. I made him come out for a visit. We sat down, we ate. He got to meet my crew and my guys. We went over what our initial goal was, and then we started to hone in specifics with him as we were growing. The benefits of working with RevXpert realistically was the tasking and execution. You know, we have a month-by-month playbook of where we want to be with our marketing and our advertising, and I feel most people, as they get into this, they think that I'm just going to hire a marketing company and they're going to do it for me. But realistically, if you don't know what your expectations are, you'll never be satisfied with the product or service that anybody gives you. So you need to know exactly what your expectations are going to be and where you want to be and where you want to go. You can't just wide blanket it and hope it works. I believe initially we started with you guys. We did just a generic website, and then we started to keep adding to it. I think now we're up to 200 pages of content. We're doing the SEO back pages or backlinks, realistically back pages for our city pages, and they're now starting to rank more and more. The benefits of working with a marketing firm is that SEO aspect of organic search. You know, the better that your organic search can be and the more dominant that your website or page can be towards Google, the less amount of money you're going to have to spend on your marketing budget. I mean, currently we're probably sitting somewhere close to around $15,000 to $20,000 a month in marketing. As I see the pages growing and as we start to gain more and more rank with our pages, our budgets are going to be coming down. We'll be able to put that money and allocate it into better places within the business. We started in 2022. January of 2022, we weren't operational until July of 2022. We are now originally started with me, one guy, and a truck. We are up to 8 employees, a warehouse, an office, and a training center. That's within our first year of business. So within our first year of business, we have taken on 8 more employees. We have put 3 more trucks on the road, and we just added plumbing into our lineup. There's a lot of benefits to working with digital media companies. Unfortunately, a lot of them will sell you the horse and pony show. They'll call you, they'll sell you something. You don't have the ability to sit down with them and actually review what you're targeting. So I think the biggest thing, as anybody should consider even hiring anybody, is what are you targeting and how do you expect to get there? And if your goal is just to make money, then realistically stick with your community savings guide and whatever, because you're just going to be burning it along. If you pick one thing and target it, you're going to grow exponentially faster. You're going to be able to focus your business and your guys and perform faster and harder. You know, again, we're 1 year in and we are now up to a warehouse, 3 trucks and 8 employees, and we're probably bringing on another 2 by the end of this month. I know we are expanding into a full shop beginning of September. And if it wasn't for my marketing and my presence online being the way it was, I wouldn't have been able to grow this brand the way I did. And that was basically my partnership with RevXperts.
Yeah, no, and you're exactly right. Like coming into it, you had such a clear vision of where you still do to this day have such a clear vision of what you want for this company and where you want it to go. And then also that, you know, that factored in from a marketing perspective too. You were able to give very clear direction to us based on the goals that you're trying to achieve. And ultimately, we know the details of the work that needs to be done, but you were able to offer that direction at a high level. This is my vision. This is where we want to go. And so many times owners don't have that understanding. So we're doing a lot of that legwork. So that's something that's been really great working with you as well. One question I always like to ask is like, how do you feel about the overall, obviously we're doing great work, but how do you feel about the overall communication and support that you get from RevXperts?
In the beginning, yeah, there was some hiccups, but again, I broad spectrumed you in the beginning, so that is not your fault. realistically, I should have given a month by month playbook of this is what I wanted, this is what I expect, and we were vague in the beginning. I was feeling about deciding whether or not I was even going to stay with it. How do I feel overall about it, and especially the communication? I can call you and text you daily, which is nice. Being able to text the person who's in charge and delegating what's going on, and I think weekly I do text you and say, what do we got going on this week? Or hey, next week I kind of just want to focus towards this. And you'll say, yeah, we're working on this already. Let me try and implement it in. I think the ability to have, without having to deal with teams, the ability to be able to work with someone specifically and then let them allocate it to a team is better than what you're going to get with, say, most other marketing companies. Most other marketing companies, you're going to get a beautiful sales pitch. They're gonna horse and pony show you. You're gonna get this great. Many other companies that I dealt with, I fired immediately within the first 2 weeks to a month. They sell you the world and dreams and expectations, and unfortunately, silly in the beginning, I would make decisions based off emotion rather than decisions based off results. Decisions based off results is I need to be able to measure the metrics and understand what is going on and how it's happening and have a clear line of open communication so that if something does need to change and pivot, we can change and pivot it immediately without me getting lost in the mill of 100 to 200 other companies because they're just slushing them in. You're not getting that individualized customer satisfaction that you would get, say, with a company like RevXperts. And a nice beneficial thing about RevXperts is, again, if I need to, I hop on the phone, I shoot you a text, you generally get back to me within 3 to 4 hours, and the next day it's being implemented or changed, which is one of the biggest benefits to any of the marketing companies local within the area, especially as you're trying to do SEO and grow your presence and grow your business.
Yeah, we appreciate that a lot too. I mean, that's such good feedback. Just hearing that from you, it's just a good reminder that we're always going to prioritize that, for as long as, for the foreseeable future. If you were ultimately to recommend us to another business, or even if another business was, really skeptical, about working with us, like what would you tell them?
You need to have an ideal business plan. And then as long as you have a proper plan in place, this is the proper company to come to because you can implement it step by step and stage by stage. Most other companies will not do that. They will tell you what they're doing and they'll just do it. The nice thing about RevXperts is you have the ability to sit there and communicate a step-by-step plan with Landon and his team. And I think that is one of the most important things that you could ever do with marketing or advertising companies. The reason, we would always refer you, many of the local companies, especially within us, and I would say within the 50 miles, I probably was on the phone with about 50 to 60 other companies. I was asking very specific questions about how they were going to do SEO, how they were going to implement AI, how they were going to implement Grammarly, ChatGPT, what were they going to do for certain Google techniques. And when you and I got on the phone, you realized that I as well had some background within marketing and advertising. And every single answer that I asked you, you were able to give me either the correct answer or you were able to listen to ideas and thoughts that I had. And I remember, I think the first 2 days of us talking, we were just kind of shooting back and forth marketing ideas, and other people implement them. And you can't do that with other companies. So if you're able to do that with somebody, the only company I found that is willing to do that is you. So RevXperts to me is an asset to this business and an asset to its growth.